Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to share with you 3 quick and simple things to try if your Stihl HLA 66 stops working. The first thing to check, and this applies to all battery tools, is of course the battery itself. Batteries come with a number of different warning lights which will tell you whether the battery is hot or cold or indeed broken, or indeed if there's an issue with the machine itself. If the battery is showing anything other than the normal lights, check your manual to find out what those lights mean and then deal with it appropriately. Even if the battery is showing all the regular lights, it's always worth just switching it out for another battery just to make sure that for whatever reason the battery's not the issue. Having ruled out the battery as the issue, then it's worth checking out the blades and making sure the blades aren't seized. To do this, you can remove the gearbox housing, and the big gear in there you should be able to turn manually if the blades aren't seized, of course with the battery out. If you can't turn the gearbox manually, it suggests that the blades are indeed seized, in which case give the blades a good clean over, get in there and give them a good oil once they're nice and clean, and that should get the tool working for you. If a quick clean over hasn't worked, then you might have to undo the bolts on the bar itself. If you just undo them a little bit, just to allow a little bit of movement, and just prise the blades apart with your hands, obviously being careful of the blades. Repeat the process, give it a good old clean, give it a good oil, and then tighten those screws up to how they were. It's well worth sticking a little bit of Loctite in these screws as well, because in my experience, once you've undone them, they want to come out loose again. Whilst you've got the gearbox cover off, it's also well worth making sure that the gearbox is properly greased. It's not over greased, but it's not under greased, and that the grease hasn't deteriorated and gone thick and horrible. So give that a check, make sure it feels nice and it's moving properly and there's not too much debris in there. Having done all of that, that should have fixed your issue if the blades were indeed seized. If the blades were indeed seized, it does suggest that you might need to look after it a little bit more. I tend to use water whilst I'm hedge cutting, just giving it a spray occasionally, just to loosen up that material and stop it building up too much. And then once I've finished with the hedge, if it's not too bad, I'll just give it a spray of oil, but if it has got quite bad, I'll just give it a little brush over and then spray it with oil just to stop it seizing up. And it's well worth leaving it in a position like this, so the blades aren't touching, so there's less friction, and that reduces the chance that it's going to stick together and seize. If you've got this far in the video, then it wasn't the battery or the blades, then it's likely to be one other culprit. And this is probably one of the most common issues with this Stihl HL66. And the issue is a small safety switch that tells the machine whether it's in this position or the open position, and therefore whether the machine should or shouldn't work. What happens is material gets in that switch and stops it from changing from the closed position to the open position. To fix the issue, the first thing I would try is give it a good old shake, open it and close it a few times, and sometimes that can be enough. It's worked for me in the past, just dislodging whatever is in that switch. If that doesn't work, you have to remove the motor housing, so there's 3 screws, just undo those and then pop the switch out. I personally find it works best if it's in this closed position. I find the switch comes out easier, and just with your hands or with a screwdriver, sometimes it can be a little bit awkward. Just pop the switch out, give it a good old brush and a clean. Also, it's worth at this point getting in there maybe with a hoover or an air gun or something, just in this cavity up here. Just get rid of any material, even just tipping it upside down and giving it a bit of a shake. You'll be amazed at the amount of material that comes out of this little cavity here. Once you're happy that it's nice and clean, reseat the switch and just check over the motor that there's nothing obviously wrong with it, like a missing connection or whatever. Put the housing back on and give it a go. And in my experience, 9 times out of 10, that's going to have fixed your issue. And if you've tried all 3 of these things and it's still not working, then the likelihood is it's something a little bit more serious, and you'll have to take it to a dealer for them to fix it for you. But it's well worth giving these things a try to save you having to take it to the dealer and save you having to spend that money on a repair bill. So give them a go. My experience is it's going to get your machine working for you again until the switch gets clogged up again or the blades get seized up again. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing for more videos like this. And if you are interested in more quick and simple garden tool fixes, then check out these videos right here. And that just needs to say, thanks again for watching. Bye for now.